Okay, stop right there. Don't go back to the menu. You have actually clicked on the Media Encoder button. And yes, this will be on Adobe CS4 Media Encoder. However, we're starting in Premiere Pro because this is usually where we've always had to start before. You always had to encode media through Premiere Pro. And that's been really a drawback to the Media Encoder in past versions of the Creative Suite Production Premium. We're starting in Premiere Pro because, of course, most of us end up editing something for a customer, and then we need to output most of the time these days to several different deliverable formats. It might be for tape, might be for DVD, might be for over-the-air, might be for deployment over a website, might even be to be watched on a PDA or a cell phone. You just don't know. So you've got to have a lot of options, and the Adobe Creative Suite remains one of the best tools for outputting to a variety of different deployment strategies. So we're here, we have a timeline. I've done some editing. I've got an extra clip over here I don't need in my output file, so I'm going to change my work area bar so I just have my edited piece here. So we have that all set to go. Now I know I want to send this out, and typically we would have gone to export, and then there would have been a number of options: audio, frame, or movie from the timeline, or we could have gone to the Adobe Media Encoder. Well, now we've just got a uniform one command export media. And when I click on that, we come into what used to be really the front end for the Media Encoder. This was where we did all of our work to set up what our output format was going to be. And we would come in here and, of course, pick some sort of an output file type. One notable addition to CS4 is the ability to do F4V, which is a flash file using H.264 as the compression codec for very, very good image quality, and of course a very small file size. And of course we have all of the formats we would usually have, with the exception that we would usually use the Media Encoder in the past only to do highly compressed deliverable formats, whereas now we have a number of options that have to do with more production-oriented formats as well. This is because this is our uniform channel to an output file. Whether it's a mastering file, whether it's a deliverable file, it's all here. So just for argument, let's choose Microsoft AVI, because this is not something we would have normally done before out of the Media Encoder. NTSC DV, it's actually the same format I've done the edit in. Under video codec, obviously fairly self-explanatory stuff. DV is not an agile codec or standard, so this is all pretty well set up once I pick the export setting, and I click on OK. Exported the data, and suddenly Media Encoder pops up, and you'll notice it boots all on its own. This is a standalone piece of software right now. And there's my sequence. I'm just going to minimize Premiere Pro to show you that we actually have a separate application running here. And I could have launched Media Encoder right from my start menu where I have all my programs stored, or have an icon on the desktop, however you would launch a standalone application, and I can load my source material right here, and that could either be in the way of a clip or a sequence or an After Effects comp. So this is pretty interesting. We've now triggered this Media Encoder session though by exporting from our Premiere Pro session, and you can see we have settings here, and this has all been predetermined. But now let's say we're leaving for the evening, and the clients asked us for several different formats. Let's say they want a flash version. We're going to make this NTSC DV version. That's our archive master clip. However, it would be nice if I could make this deliverable format overnight while I'll be gone along with this. No problem. I select the item in the list, hit duplicate, and now I can go in and actually change my output. So I can go in and now choose a different output. Perhaps this client wants a flash file. And then I can go in and literally relaunch my window to set now new properties for the second output. So now I have same as source for a frame size here, and I'm going to go out as H.264 F4V. Again, all the settings are all customizable. This is another instance, another output instance, again off the same queue. So I will hit OK. Now I have a flash file that will come off of this same session. Now let's say I have, let's say this client's especially difficult and they have another format I need to output for them. Let's say that they want also a straight H.264, or no, better yet, an MPEG-2 DVD. That's what they want. So they're actually going to put this now on a DVD as well. And I literally go in again, set my frame rate again. I know I have a 2997 frame rate for my sequence, so I'm going to choose 2997 drop frame. That's my frame rate for my output file. I'm going to also make sure I'm set for lower field first for field order to make sure it's interpreting my my source file correctly, and I know that it's standard 4:3. So I'm going to output that to DVD. Again, I hit OK. So I've just created 3 output profiles for the same Premiere Pro sequence. They're all going to happen once I walk away. They're all going to happen simultaneously, and I'll come back and they're all done. But now, let's say I've had a very busy day, extremely busy day, and I have some After Effects comps that I did not get to render. So, okay, those projects are sitting there and I'm feeling kind of guilty and I'm getting kind of hungry and I'd like to go home now. How do I do this? Fine. I can add After Effects comps to this queue as well. As crazy as it is true. So now I go to add an After Effects composition. I go into my After Effects CS4 folder. I can pick on my After Effects project right here. And once I've clicked on the After Effects project, it shows me the comps that are inside of there. So I pick the comp I know I need to render. I hit OK. Now I need to go in and make sure the settings are proper. So I'll, again, choose from a list of output settings. Now I know I'm going to probably want Microsoft AVI because I want to use this in a later project, and I know I'm going to use it as DV. So again, I'll go in here to my file settings under DV. I know I don't want 24. I know I want 2997. So I'll pick DV NTSC. I'm all set to go there. It all looks good. Again, audio, everything can be set right from here to complete all of the specifications for the output file. As you can see, I can actually look at the comp right here. This is my actual After Effects comp. I can preview it here. Hit OK. Now that's in the queue. Now let's say I have a video clip. Oh, I forgot. I have a video clip I need to actually rework. And that's down here. I've got this AVI. I can drag that into the window as well. All right, that's sitting in there. What do I need to change that to? I want to change that to a QuickTime. And I know what I need to do with that is it needs to be DV, but again, not 24. So I come in here, change it over to DV NTSC. And now I'm set to go out with a QuickTime file. Hit OK. So I have a QuickTime render as a file transcode. I have an After Effects comp that's going to also render, and I have 3 outputs from the same Premiere Pro sequence from the same project. These will all happen once I hit Start Queue and walk away. Adobe Media Encoder has transformed itself from a very nice extension of Premiere Pro for outputting to various formats to a standalone transcoding tool. And its ability to load Premiere Pro sequences and After Effects comps as well will save you an unbelievable amount of time.